Cassey here. Today we are going to talk about bloating. I talk about this subject a lot on my TikTok because after I've had an incredible dessert full of added sugars, dairy, refined carbs, lots of gluten, my belly will turn into a food baby. And sometimes it's kind of cute and I'll turn to the side and put my hand underneath my low belly and pretend I am with child. And sometimes, well, most of the time, it's really uncomfortable. It makes me sluggish, lethargic. I just feel really weighed down and my clothes fit terribly and I just feel not myself. And it is the worst when the bloat stays for a day or two when I've really just, overdone it. Now, of course, when I'm eating that dessert, I am making a conscious decision to eat it, knowing that the consequence will be a bloated belly and the sluggishness that comes along with it. So in today's video, we're gonna talk about what bloat is, how it's different than belly fat, what causes bloat, and what you can do to get rid of bloat. So if you're ready to dive in, let's do it. Let's talk about where you feel bloated. So when you guys are eating a big meal and you tend to feel super full, that's when our stomach, which is right underneath our chest, is getting filled up with food. Then when it moves down a little bit more into your small intestines and then your large intestines eventually, that's where we tend to feel bloated. And that's where we feel that food baby and then kind of feel like we are with child. So why do we get bloated in the intestines? Well, you guys, when your food is being broken down and digested in your intestines, there is gas being produced while it's being broken down, and then the food also needs extra water to be in the intestine area to help push it through. So with that mixture of gas and extra liquid, that is what creates the bloat. So what that means is that as long as you're eating, you're gonna feel a little bit bloated, and that's totally normal. Everyone is gonna feel that. But if you get the kind of bloat that makes you feel really uncomfortable and lethargic and sluggish and really just not your best, then that's the kind of bloat that I'm talking about here, because that's the kind of bloat that I get when I'm feeding my bodies with the foods that do not nourish it in the right way. Now that you know that excess water and air is giving you that bloated feeling, let's go over some common things that you could be doing to add in that extra air and water into your intestines. Swallowing air through chewing gum or drinking through a straw, eating too fast, eating too much, eating fatty foods, eating foods that create gas, constipation. Also, some medical conditions like lactose intolerance, Crohn's disease, celiac disease, and irritable bowel syndrome can make it harder to digest food. But what if you're not doing those things and you're still getting bloated? Isn't that the worst? Well, you guys, sometimes there are healthy foods that make us bloated too. And as you know, every body is so different and reacts to food differently, but here are some common healthy foods that might make you bloated. Raw cruciferous veggies like cauliflower, kale, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, onions. Unfortunately, these things, as much as I love them, sometimes too much of them can make me really bloated, especially a lot of cabbage. Some fruits like apricots, apples, pears, peaches, and prunes, beans and lentils, and whole grains. And then some of your more obvious bloat foods like greasy, fatty foods, foods with artificial sweeteners, look for sorbitol on the label, carbonated beverages, the air bubbles, and salty foods and processed foods that tend to be really high in sodium. So things that are canned and a lot of times lots of frozen food. So back to the healthy foods list. Why in the world would a healthy food make you bloat? Well, it's because it has a lot of fiber, which is awesome, but what that means is that it is a little bit harder to digest than other foods, which means there might be a little bit more gas production when the body is trying to break down the food, and these foods tend to draw in more water. So there you go again. With the extra air and the extra water, you get that bloated feeling. So how can you tell the difference between bloat and belly fat? So you guys, have you ever had a super indulgent meal and then you decide to weigh yourself afterwards? Not the best idea, but I've done it before, and I've gained up to like 7 pounds after one crazy meal. But so fun because no one can ever believe that I can eat that much, but I actually can eat that much. Anyway, different story for another time. You guys, if you have just one indulgent meal, it's not actual fat that you're gaining. That extra weight on the scale is excess water, the literal weight of the food that you just ingested. And you guys, it's excessive calories over time that is going to make you gain body fat, not one indulgent meal. So if you are thinking that you gained a ton of fat from one meal, that's not true. That is most likely bloat, and you kind of just need to go to the bathroom and you'll be back to normal. Maybe your face might be a little puffy from the excessive sodium and stuff, but drink a lot of water with lemon and you're gonna be fine. So when is it belly fat? Well, if you are not being active regularly, if you are sleep deprived, if you are stressed out, if you're eating an excessive amount of calories and you kind of just feel like you're not at your best, well, that's probably the belly fat that is coming into play. It happens over time and does not happen overnight. Here are some common questions to ask yourself if you're not sure if it's bloat or belly fat. Let's go through this quickly. Is my belly suddenly bigger than it was a day or two ago? Probably bloat. Does my tummy slim back down the next morning? Probably bloat. However, you guys, when I eat a crazy dessert at night, my bloat doesn't go away the next morning at all. It stays all day the next day and then goes away the following day. So it actually takes my body 2 days to recover from an intense indulgent meal. When did I last go to the bathroom? If it's been a day or two, it's probably bloat. Are you on your period? Probably bloat. Are you dehydrated? Probably bloat. Basically, it's probably bloat unless you've noticed changes all over your body. And again, gaining belly fat is going to take time and also is a reflection of your current lifestyle, not just one indulgent meal. Now that you know what causes bloat, how do you get rid of it? You guys, you know I am a huge fan of journaling, and through my 90-day journey, I was able to figure out exactly the things that bloat me. So if you're not sure how to do that, basically you can start journaling in any notebook. You can get the 90-day journal, or you can do it on a piece of paper or a spiral notebook, whatever works for you. Write down what meals you're eating throughout the day, and then write down how you feel after each meal and how you feel the next day. Because I did that and was so precise with what I ate, I noticed that anytime I had dairy, I would break out with pimples. Anytime I had gluten or refined grains, I would bloat really intensely and feel super sluggish. And anytime when I feel like I wasn't eating enough, I'd be super hangry. So literally write down what you're eating and how you feel, because this is how you are going to figure out what foods work for your body and what foods do not. And again, it's going to be different for everybody. This is your individual journey, and this is something you need to discover for yourself. That is obviously something that's going to take extra time and effort, but if there are some things you want to implement right now, the first thing you can try doing is try to eat more slowly so that you're swallowing less air as you're eating your food. You could also try deep breathing to stimulate the digestive tract and also to relieve the pain and discomfort. You can also sip on a warm beverage or drink some prune juice if you're feeling constipated. I just really want you to stay away from laxatives as well as stimulant teas like those skinny teas and fit teas, because you can be really dependent on that. And if you do rely on that to go to the bathroom, it's going to make it harder to go naturally in the future. So please, please try to be really natural about this. You can also give yourself a colonic massage to move that food waste in your intestines along. It might just need a little bit extra physical stimulation. You can also strengthen your core, and if you're dealing with more intense bloating issues, it might be a good time to contact your doctor and walk through some other options that might be good for your body. Now, you understand what bloat is, but if you are still dealing with belly fat or a combination of belly fat and bloat, well, let me tell you how you can get rid of belly fat. So, first thing to understand is that you cannot spot reduce fat. You definitely can spot tone and work on a certain muscle group, but when it comes to fat, you guys are gonna be losing fat all over your body at once. Okay, maybe at different rates in different places. Like for example, for me, I lose fat easily in my arms, but my low belly is really hard. And you know what? When you lose fat, you can't choose. So you're gonna lose fat from your face, but also from your boobs and your butt. You know, guys, it all comes all together, melting all at once. But how do you do it? It's a combination of your workouts, your nutrition, your sleep levels, and your stress levels working all together. And basically, you guys, what you need to do is make sure that you are active at least a few times a week. I like to work out pretty much every day because it makes me feel good. Because when I feel good, my body is moving, my mind is sharp, and it makes me just more motivated in life, okay? So that is the workout part. Make sure that you are enjoying it and that it is something that is making you stronger mentally and physically, because that is really important, okay? And look, it doesn't even have to be my workout videos. It could be any workout video out there that makes you happy and that makes you feel like you want to wake up and just do it, because that is going to be the most important thing, consistency. All right, let's talk about that nutrition. So I just released the 90-day meal plan guide, and if that is something that you need a little bit of extra help on, I wrote it with my RD, so you can follow that. There's 4 different types of meal plans. You can choose what works for you and your dietary preferences, but in there you will learn how to calculate your caloric needs for your goals, for your activity level, for your height and age and gender and all that kind of stuff, because it is going to be different for every person. But the main thing to understand here is that even if you are eating healthy, but you are eating excessive calories, you are going to find that it's going to be hard to lose weight. And that is something that I dealt with because I just like to eat a lot. And yeah, maybe I eat a lot of kale chips or eat a lot of cauliflower rice, but when you eat a lot, it still becomes excessive energy in your body, which then makes your body hold on to extra fat. Now, totally, it depends on what your goals are. If you're totally happy with where you are, then good. But if you feel like you have extra belly fat or extra fat to lose, then you are really gonna wanna dial it in and figure out what is it that is making you hold on to that stubborn fat. And you know what, you guys? It's not really a simple calories in, calories out situation. Has a lot to do with your hormones too, and that's why the sleep and the stress comes into play, because when I was really on my game when it came to workouts and food, and I just couldn't change my body, it was because I wasn't sleeping enough and I was super stressed out due to not sleeping enough and working too much, and my body was just out of whack and it just wasn't like an equation anymore. So make sure you are really paying attention to how you're working out, making sure that it makes you happy, how you are eating for your goals, but also making sure that your food makes you happy, because if you're not happy, you're gonna be stressed, and if you're stressed, you can't change your body. So, you know, it all plays together. Okay, you guys? So, pretty much that is the whole story on bloat and belly fat. I hope this video helped you understand better what the difference is and what you can do about it. And lastly, I just wanna say that if you're feeling bloated, it's okay, it's normal, just like I said, but if it's making you feel uncomfortable, there are things that you can do about it. And at the end of the day, I just want you to look in the mirror and love yourself, whether it's with a cute food baby or without it. Love every inch of your body, because our body is fluid, it reacts to food. Food is more than just energy, it's cultural, it's delicious, it's joy. So allow that beautiful relationship and interaction with food to happen. And yeah, I don't know, sometimes when I have an amazing meal, I do like to look down at my belly and be like, yeah, you did a really good job, and you know, just give a nice little pat. I don't know, you guys, just enjoy what you're eating and enjoy your fitness journey, and just know that you're amazing, and I love you so much. And if you want to check out some more videos, go ahead and click right here, and keep watching, and I'll see you in our next workout. Okay, you guys? I'll see you later. Bye.